Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the brand new Playmates toys, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is Usagi Yojimbo. So how tall is Usagi Yojimbo? Well, let's get some measurements going. Usagi stands a little over 5 inches tall if you technically count the tips of his ears. If you don't count his ears, he's just short of 5 inches tall, but we'll do some size comparisons as well when we bring the turtles in. Not yet though, because we want to spend sufficient amount of time looking at this beautiful looking, really awesome representation of Usagi. So cool to see him now in the Nickelodeon cartoons. First things first, let's have a look at the Katana Blades that come included with him. One is notably shorter than the other. They are cast in the same gray plastic as the other turtle brothers that we had a look at. He does sport a pair of sheaths on the side of his leg in which you can easily slide the swords into, or katanas into. And they sit very easily just like that. You could technically put them in the opposite sheaths, but you will notice that one will stick out from the other. So, not that there is a specific method of putting them in, but if you don't want it where the blade is exposed, obviously making sure you put the shorter blade at the back here. What you can also do too is take said swords and put them into said hands of Usagi. They'll slide very easily into place. And might I also add, he's a very posable figure too. So above and beyond the fact that he looks really awesome, you can get some pretty cool poses out of this figure as well. All right. So let's do some size comparisons quickly, and then we'll go back to Usagi. Giving the regular size of these turtles all being the same, I'll put him next to the likes of Donatello and Raphael, so you can see how much shorter he is. He's really not that much shorter than the other two brothers, give or take maybe about a third of a head shorter. He does certainly complement them as well, and there is also an Usagi that's going to be in the samurai armor as well, which we will be having a look at in the next video. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's look at the great looking sculpt, and might I also add the cool details on Usagi's face. I like how they've sculpted in. It's hard to make out, but they've even sculpted in like the little fur areas around his cheek. They're not outlined, because again, if you were to put too much black outlining on it, it would just take too much away from the face. I do like the one gash at the top, or the one little line across the top of his head here. And again, outlining around the eyes, bring the eyes certainly much more forward. And the eyes are actually a lighter, in fact, a more pure white, versus the rest of his body, which comes across actually more like a cream-colored white. The outfit itself that he wears, quite nice indeed. Making use of some nice lighter blues, which also makes their way into the sleeve portions of his hands, or into his arm, into his hands. I like how there's that little bit of cuff, elongated cuff, right at the very tips and the edge of his forearms. The legs are sculpted in quite nicely, the pants themselves. And again, he's got the little orange shoes down below there. Spin the figure around. The ears, once again, grouped together and bound at the very top. Just like, basically every incarnation of Usagi has had that same sort of design. Again, some nice white outlining there on the belt. Helps to break up and give some extra detailing to the chest area. Top part of his top here. Really quite like the face though. Playmates does a lot of cool figures, but of the Turtles stuff, this might be one of my personal favorites. Especially liking the fact that he's got lots of posability, which is something I think for a character like Usagi Yojimbo, you really need some extra posability. So again, you can get him in some pretty cool poses. Let's run through his posability together. His head rotates all the way around. They hinge up and down. His arms hinge outward via universal joint. In that case, they can also rotate all the way around. He has a rotation in the forearm as well as a hinge. And he has a rotation in the hand. When you get to the waist, The waist doesn't really allow you to do any sort of movement. However, he more than makes up for it with an additional posing and splits on the legs. Like you can get, if not for the sheets being in the way, you could get pretty much a full split going with his legs. Lastly, he has a hinge in the knee, as well as what looks to be a ball joint in the feet, allowing some additional posability options there as well. What a great looking figure. Really happy with how he turned out. It's nice to see as well, not only is he appearing in the animated series, but it's nice to see that he's also getting a plastic figure as well. It's been a long time since we've had an Usagi Yojimbo figure, and I must say, he's never looked better. Today we were checking out, this was the brand new Playmates Toys Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this was Samurai Usagi Yojimbo. If you guys like this video, certainly hit it with a like, and if you like Ninja Turtles, there's actually a whole playlist there that you can check out for your viewing pleasure. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.